Andrea, can we agree that Private Eyes is the best thing that Jason Priestley has ever done?
I don't know if I've seen him in anything else.
No.
So, yes, for me.
Well, I've seen Beverly Hills 90210, and I imagine if I IMDb'd them, we've seen other things that are not memorable. So,
Clearly not.
answer is yes, by
I'll,
default.
I'll agree.
Well, this is Eric,
This is Andrea.
and this is Hallmark Mysteries and
And
more.
more.
Well, we are in the final home stretch of the year, and we got the good news of Haunted Harmony coming. So we
And
do have.
they're releasing the last Jane mystery for those who don't have Hallmark Plus. Don't you worry, there was one more that they haven't released to
Oh,
people
wait. So they announced that's going to air on the
in
TV.
like the next week, I think.
Oh, I thought they had all been actually released.
No, the one with the pink cover. I can't remember. Is it a lose yourself?
I
Some
don't know.
The last one, which clearly Eric and I have great feelings for, where
After,
I can't even remember what it's about.
started good, went downhill. Then we got Murder at the Mosby, which was chaos.
Yep,
And
but a
then I
fun
think the
chaos. And
last
then
one we
this
were like,
one, yeah, not so great.
so
But if you
well,
like Jane's, there you go. I like Jane's, and it's fine. If it's on, I keep it on. That's how those are for me.
but I got rewarded with a couple Mystery Islands, one more than I wanted, but I still was rewarded. And now you're getting your Haunted Harmony. So,
Well, then we should also mention, like on the app, as I went on, like last night, it had you can watch and just stream Hallmark mysteries, like just nonstop. They play mysteries or Christmas movies or When Calls the Heart. I haven't
so yeah, I saw your
that
post.
one.
So when you go to mysteries, it'll just like randomly play a
No, it's on
mystery.
the homepage. So as soon as you open up the Hallmark Plus app, so I was scrolling down to like watch my diagnosis murder, and I'm like, ooh. So I clicked on the mysteries, and then it didn't tell you. So it's kind of fun because you're like, I have no idea what's going to be airing. So you click on the button, and it was the Haunted Harmony, and so the first one. And so I watched some of that last night, and then while I was putting my son to bed just before we were talking, I was like, let me try the Christmas one to see what Christmas, again, a surprise because there's no like TV guide. You're just like, and it was Jingle Bell Run. So it was
Oh,
kind of a fun
not a
little
bad
one.
one.
Yeah, so it's kind of fun just to click on it and see. And I didn't have any commercials when I watched the Haunted Harmony one. I watched a little bit longer than I watched the Jingle Bell Run one. But if you have Hallmark on in the background, it's a great like, hey, no commercials, just have something kind of rolling
All
through
right.
if you're a mystery fan or Christmas fan. So I thought that was a really good idea. And it worked on my TV as well, because somebody had mentioned to me that they didn't have it yet. So I think, and it says beta, so I think they're still
Okay.
testing it.
So
But
maybe you're one of the special people.
I would maybe update if you have updated the app, or maybe I did that. So who knows? But yeah, I think it's a good idea, like best idea that Hallmark Plus has had.
I try not to watch TV because it's always has issues on my TV. Where
Yeah.
my iPad app is pretty consistent, but the
Yeah.
other thing that it does on my TV is the closed captioning is like in 4-point font, and you can't turn it off either.
That's
So
funny.
it's on whether you want it or not, and you can't read it. It's just a
That's
nice. It looks like a little black bar with some white speckles.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I am I pretty much watch it on my iPad if I do, but I thought I'd look on my TV just to see because somebody had mentioned they hadn't had it, and I'm like, oh, my TV's got it too. So it's not just an iPad thing. It must just be rolling out slowly. So
Well, before we get into Private Eyes, I will say for me, 11/7 is all I'm looking forward to. Mistletoe Mysteries, season 2.
we're
I am
supposed to save
excited.
that for our Christmas preview show, Eric.
I'm
Now
just
you just
saying,
ruined it. You ruined it for everyone thinking, what
everyone,
is
it's
Eric
being
excited for?
promoted left and right. I'm just saying
I haven't seen
that's,
anything for it.
well, first of all, it's on our feed.
Well, I see you promote it, but I haven't seen Hallmark promote it. I've seen you.
The, oh, maybe you don't like Head Spinner, which is the production people, Sarah Drew, Sarah,
I don't spend a
man,
ton
like
of
those
time
people.
on my Hallmark Instagram browsing. I will say that. So that's
You're
probably
over on seasonal.
I'm over on my seasonal Andrea page more. So
Yeah.
that's probably why I don't see a lot of it. I mean, I'm on there a little bit because I get more DMs in my Hallmark than I do my main page. So I spend more time in the DMs with people. So I don't do a ton of browsing per se. So
Well, what do you say we enter the ring and talk
finish
private
off
eyes?
finish off our oldies because that's kind of what we've been doing this year. So Private Eye season 2, episodes 10 through 18. Episode 10, Kissing the Canvas, when a boxer asks Shade to prove a match is fixed. Shade and Angie bring Nora in as a gambling advisor. All right, we get to see the Good Witch father-in-law as a bad dude. That was fun. Can't remember if we've seen him before. Have we?
No,
You didn't realize that?
no.
Is it Henry? I think it's like, yeah, that's the Good Witch. It's her father-in-law who does the work.
Who I totally know who he is. Yeah. How
I
did I
know.
miss that? That
How
was
did you? Yeah, I thought that was going to
I.
be an obvious
I
one.
have
You were.
many a notes through the rest
That's
of the Hallmark
hilarious.
people.
Oh,
Wow, because I like
yeah.
him. He's awesome in The Good Witch.
Yes. My question for you: have you ever seen a boxing match in person?
No. Have
I
you?
have. I have. One of my coworkers, and he was boxing, and I am like never going to go to a boxing match. I went once, and it was like he was one of my good friends, and I'd never seen a boxing match, period. And so I went, and I'm like, holy crap, you're actually bloody and a mess. Like you actually get really hurt in there because I'm used to thinking like wrestling, like this
Rocky.
is all show. And then he comes off and he's like just a mess and blood and like chipped tooth. And you're just like, holy crap. So that was a lot. So for me, boxing doesn't do much for me. And so when they have these episodes, I'm not really a big fan of boxing as the backdrop. So I was a little nervous because we started off in kind of, again, as we have talked about, we have some of those backdrops that we enjoy. Boxing, not one of them for me. I liked the ending where the office scene, it's a damn shame when two people can't see what's right in front of them as all four couples leave in different doors. I thought that was a great, like, poetic line. And, like, that's Angie and Shade, included in that. Not that they saw that because one of them
Right.
said it, but it was just like a cute, clever way to kind of wrap it up, to kind of leave the audience in suspense. So that was my highlight of this episode. What did you think?
I'm there with you. It was the boxing, and I just wasn't in it. And it was a shame because, if you go back to our first half of season 2, I was riding high. I'm like, oh, it's just getting better and better, and this is great. And then the boxing one happened, and it was just like kind of whatever. I'll say I TKO'd on it, right? I was like, oh no, I really wanted to like it, and I didn't. But the thing is, and I was thinking about this earlier today, I think if it was not boxing, like they had figured out another, like kept basically the same premise. Now, obviously, it was the drug thing, and you couldn't quite do exactly the same, but basically the same thing, and put it in a different scenario. I think I would have liked it. But the boxing, like you said, it just sort of disengaged me right away, and it was one of those episodes where I was like on my phone or just doing other things while I'm, watching it because I have to watch it. I probably would have skipped ahead if we weren't reviewing. I would have skipped ahead and went right to the Long Live the
Oh,
King.
really? I would never skip. I
Yeah.
would have it on and just like slowly get through it, but I would never skip an episode. Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
I
That's
just, like I
telling.
said, boxing was just didn't
I did like that they
literally
had
doesn't.
like their person lose. I did enjoy that
Yeah.
aspect because I think so many times you're like, oh, and they won. Like that's just a
Right.
predictable ending. So I did like that they had her lose.
And
Um,
I found it really fun too because I was like totally going, wait, they're letting her box with these like dangerous, lethal gloves. And then obviously they said, oh, by the way, we swapped the gloves.
yeah,
And I was like, oh, phew, because I honestly thought she was out there with these, whatever
kill
it
someone.
was,
Mercury.
mercury filled. Yeah, mercury. That's what it was. Mercury filled gloves. I'm like, whoa.
Uh,
So, but yeah, I don't know. Wasn't my episode.
well, let's see if the next one was episode 11, Long Live the King. The king of medieval recreation experience fears being usurped. I think I
Usurped?
might have.
No,
Is that a
usurped.
word?
Yeah, and it's like being usurped is
Usurped?
taken out. Someone else comes and takes over for you.
See, again,
Read more
vocab
Greek.
words.
Read more Greek Epic poetry.
The Odyssey. And the sleuths must rush to his aid when the king falls ill. I thought the Bob, which was the king, I thought that was a fun character. I enjoyed this episode. I thought it was a cute, fun episode. The mystery was intriguing and had a little journey to solve it. Overall, it was okay. This is not my favorite, but it's not an episode that I disliked either. It just kind of falls in the middle of like a good, just solid mystery that you need from a long series, I think.
I'm not going to argue with you. For me, it got me right back on track because it was kind of like what Private Eyes is, right? Sort of a silly-ish premise, but
Yeah.
then some pretty good sleuthing on
Yeah.
top of it. And that Bob character was, you know,
Great.
pretty funny. And we found out also part of what, led to some of his personality things was not his fault. But I thought it was pretty good. And I will say, it doesn't always happen often, but I was totally tricked on this one because I was convinced until the very, very almost well, it wasn't quite the very end, but the very end of the reveal that the friend somehow was still shady in on it. And I kept waiting for
Like the
her.
girl?
Yeah, yeah, his coworker who was
I
his
thought it was
best
like a
friend.
love interest.
And I
No.
kept thinking somewhere she's stabbing him in the back. And I kept waiting until the very
No.
end. And I was like, oh, no, she's just a good person. Imagine that. I was so caught off guard by her being
I
good.
can't imagine someone being kind.
Right. Well, usually it's like those, that's sort of the formula, right?
Yeah.
The best
Yeah.
friend who's looking out for you isn't looking out for you. So
Oh,
turned
that's
out she
funny.
really was and caught me off guard. And, I also thought it was a fun episode with the secret doping of with the other person to steal the idea. I really like that. And then the reveal. Now, it wasn't as good as the magic show reveal, but I thought it was really good when she's in the middle of her presentation and he asks, like, well, ask a question about the character and just gets busted. And then the CEO guy just immediately turns on her, which I found that good. I just liked the reveal on it. So all in all, I thought it, like you said, it was good one. It's not going to go down on my bottom when we talk about favorites, but it certainly was one I was not skipping ahead and I was totally paying attention for the whole movie.
Well, episode 12, Getaway with Murder. Shade and Angie are hired by the owner of a luxurious rustic lodge to investigate an infidelity case. I mean, Chris Russell.
I know.
We
I
just
know.
mentioned him. So, hello, win-win for me. He was in this episode. And there was a proposal by the doc to Angie, and you just knew that wasn't going to end well.
Right.
As soon as it was happening, you're like, what signs were you reading, sir? Not quite. You were not on that same page. I loved the rookie cop who was nervous, and that led to the two couples needing to take the lead. Brilliant. I mean, that's something that Murder She Wrote does from time to time, and that's always a hit. Like that's how Angela is always, or Jessica Fletcher is always in on the thing because the cop is just a little incompetent and they want the help and they are inviting the help. And so that for me, that trope always wins in a mystery. And then both couples ended up breaking up with their significant others. It felt too early for myself, at this point in the season. I feel like they could have kept that train rolling. I loved both of their partners. Like those were great additions to the show, which I don't know as we get towards the end of these. I don't know if you've watched too much of season 3, have you?
Yeah.
Okay, I have some thoughts too. So it seems like budget must have happened at some point.
Narrowing characters.
Yeah. Then so I'm guessing they're kind of like, let's start to deplete some money. And that's what it really feels like in season 3. I will say that. So that's unfortunate that they kind of broke up. But I'm wondering if they were like One Tree Hill. I listened to their Drama Queens podcast and they always talk about like they never knew if they were going to be renewed or not. And so I'm wondering if this show was in that same boat of like always wondering, are we going to be renewed? And then that played a factor in who they're staying in with the cast and who is
Gotcha.
leaving.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm kind of reading into
I
the
mean,
tea leaves. But
it does make sense because Re-
It costs money,
Reoccurring
obviously.
characters are more expensive than, single episode characters.
Yep. So, what about you? Did you like this episode?
I liked it until I didn't. And
What?
the Brit, I thought Shade, like the doctor, I found
Oh,
him
you didn't
okay,
like the breakups, yeah.
but Shade and Mel, is it Melanie? Mel, whatever the prosecuting attorney got woman.
The judge.
The
That's
oh,
not
wait,
a judge. She's
oh
not a
yeah, yeah,
judge.
she's a prosecuting attorney.
And she's a
Like,
judge in my eyes.
but I thought they were a really cute couple together. I'm with you. I found it a blast that all four of them were investigating,
Right.
though I knew it was coming because you just know, right? And I completely thought when the doctor and Mel were started investigating together and then went and commiserated together that they were going to be like, wait a minute, I appreciate you, you appreciate me. Let's blow them off and we'll go date,
Mhm.
which maybe is probably happening. The doctor lawyer is a
I mean, it seemed like it.
yeah, they had some good chemistry. My one complaint on the episode, though, was I wish we would have got to know the guy who got killed, the one they were
Oh,
investigating, a
yep.
little bit more because it was pretty much he like walked in, was like, "Hey, we need to talk these budget figures, whatever," and then, "Oh, hi, goodbye," and then he was dead. So we did. I would like to have had a little bit of buy-in on this character, and then lose him as opposed to being he's basically like an extra who I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, so what if he died? And then my notes were, well, Andrea's going to be happy, Christopher Russell. So
Too
it
little of a role, but I did enjoy him.
yes.
The
He
little we
was
saw him.
also were you watching and howling while you were doing it too?
In Howling?
That's what he had everyone do was they're
Oh,
howling, whatever, to release all their energy or whatever. The I
we do
didn't
that at
I
Timberwolves games all the time. We howl.
I think he's a kind of a big guy, or everyone else on this episode were kind of small.
No,
Like
I
I know
think
Jason
he's
Priestley's
tall.
not overly big,
No.
right? But he looked like huge
Yeah.
compared to everyone else.
No. I think he is. I mean, I think he is.
Yeah, he looks like he's like a
So
6'4",
I was
220
thinking
guy
like
or something like
six
that.
two, but
So,
well,
uh,
episode 13, A Fair to Remember. Not a fair, a
fair.
space FARE fair. That's a tricky, that kind of could go either way. Shade and Angie are taken on a wild ride after picking up an unexpected fare during a routine sting operation with Maz and Nolan hot on their trail. It's a race to prove whether their ride along guest is an innocent bystander or a cold blooded killer. I thought this was a great episode. The potential guy in the cab being a killer, great premise for an episode. It kept you entertained. It kept you like, I felt suspense with this one. The mystery was fun. We had again Nolan in this one. The first time I've seen this premise in a cozy mystery, and I wouldn't mind seeing it again, like having that situation happen like that. I was like, oh, this is fun. And I don't know if I ever remember. I guess Mark Sloan on Diagnosis Murder does get kidnapped a few times, but not in this manner. So I'm like, oh, this is kind
Well,
of
the one
fun.
you
Where,
made me watch, he gets kidnapped at the end.
yes, but not, he's had
Right.
multiple
Right.
times
He's
he's been
kidnapped and
kidnapped.
thrown in a car, not
Right.
kidnapped in a car.
Right. So that's where I'm like, oh, this is kind of fun. Yeah, I enjoyed it. What about you?
So the Affair to Remember is like a play on a Cary Grant, which is an Affair to Remember movie. So it's like an old 1950s movie.
I wasn't
So the
born
title
yet,
was
so
kind of, I guess, being clever in that way. But I'm with you. Like,
back in your day.
no, I'm not. I'm not. I think it's black and white, so it's not. That's not quite that one. But I'm with you. Like just the premise of it, of being like kidnapping the cab driver, who turned out to be Shade, and driving around, and that's like a big idea. Like you said, you don't see that in these cozies, because first of all, when I've talked to, talking to a couple of directors, and they're saying like when you shoot in a car, it's actually pretty complicated of what they have to do logistically. And so
Mm,
they typically try to keep car scenes to a minimum. And
that
so when
makes
you're
sense.
doing an actual one where and they actually drive a lot in, by the way, this one with Shade and his Porsche, but just doing that, I was like, that's just, yeah, that's like bigger than a 44-minute, episodic type thing that we see. So I really enjoyed it. And I have two there that we had Detective Derek, which is a bonus. But then I was sad because we did not have Melanie and the doctor either. And so I was like, and it just like, I think part of the reason why I liked them too is it seemed like a sort of progression of their characters. Like we can be involved, and instead you're going to get back to the thing of the tension, which they have to do between Angie and him. So, and then there's also, kind of an exciting ending with, Angie getting, captured by the bad guy and all of that. So it was kind of an intense ending. So I found this one a little more, anxiety is not the right way to put it, but like more edge of your seat type episode than a lot of them where it's a lot of sleuthing going around, whereas this one seemed more like an actiony type mystery. So it was a lot of fun.
Well, episode 14, Finding Leroy. Everett and Shade, as a favor to Maz's sister, investigate the disappearance of a rare octopus. I love a good fake raise the auction bid movement. That bit is always fun.
I
Like when
forgot
you're
about
like,
that
oh,
one. Yeah,
wait,
yeah.
yep, oh, no, raise it up. Loved that.
Especially when you're like, no, I didn't mean to do it, and you just raise
And
yourself
you do
again.
it again. And you're like, no. Always a fun bit. I wanted to see more of the octopus. I really find them to be fascinating creatures. So at the end, when they had the octopuses swimming behind them, I was like, oh, this is great. I wanted more of this throughout the episode because I now want to go to an aquarium and just watch an octopus swim because that was fun. And different sizes. What an adventure. That to me was great. The Ginny and Georgia actor, for those of you who are Ginny and Georgia fans, Raymond A. Black, he plays Joe, the owner of the diner. He was the fiance to Maz's sister in this episode. And so that was really fun to
Ah,
see him because I mean, this is probably him early work or maybe one of the first, I don't really know. But I love him on Ginny and Georgia. And so that was kind of fun to see him in this episode. So for me,
another one I did not recognize from
did
there.
you, but you didn't really watch Ginny and
Yeah, I
Georgia,
did.
did you?
I
Oh,
watched them all.
you didn't, man, you're missing all the people.
Yeah, I did
Well,
not.
yeah, he was great. So for me, this episode, I really enjoyed this one as well. Like it was two kind of back to back great episodes for me.
I'm right there with you. We're pretty much locked right in together in this season because I loved it, and I like you. I wanted more of the octopus. I thought it was a lot of fun. Maybe it's the budget cuts. Maybe the octopus had a really, it's an expensive salary, so they had to cut the
Oh,
shoot
it's
days
too
with
exotic.
the octopus. But you'd be watching that octopus YouTube channel, wouldn't you, to see it all
Yeah,
around? I
just
found it
like them.
fascinating too. Like I don't know if there really is a super rare octopus out there that
I'm sure
has these
there is.
regenerative things,
Well,
but
I don't know about that
it was
part.
kind of cool. Um, it also reminded me, it was fun meeting Maz's sister and, how she broke up with the guy and turned out. And it reminded me a little bit of what we saw in the first half with the Now You See Her with the violin player and her
Yeah.
boyfriend, conductor, and they broke up. And, because at the end, love won out again in this episode. So for me, being the softie that I am, I really enjoyed that. Like at the end, she's like, "Oh, yeah, I do love you," and I was just, scared and all of that stuff. The only thing I'll say is like the bad guy in this, I found that kind of a letdown. Like I liked the everything about it, but I thought like the actual bad guy portion of when he came out, like I think he kind of knew what it was, which whatever, it's not always bad, but it was just anticlimactic as opposed to
President
like
of
we
the
just talked about
board.
the other one, which was like totally climatic. And this one, he just sort of walks out and that's the end of it. So that was my only drawback, but I very much liked the end. Excuse me, the whole episode, not the end.
The episode 15, The Hills Have Eyes. The Everett Investigation Agency investigates some wrongdoing. The Burbs, with the help of a drone, I don't know why that's in quotations, and a resourceful 12-year-old. Kylie Evans is in this episode, so that was fun to see her as she is Stephanie,
I
and
did recognize her.
she's also in Mistletoe Murders, so that was fun. Good thing, Eric. I figured I was like, you talked to her, you interviewed her, so I hope you
Yes.
recognized
And
her. Uh,
yes.
and then I love the suburbs hit that Angie was having on the suburbs and her experience. I will say, like, I enjoyed that. I live in St. Paul and grew up in a small town, but I have lived in the burbs. And I will say, all of my clients who live in the burbs, they are very similar to these neighbors. Like I had one who was just like, this is what this neighbor does, this is what this neighbor does, like points. And
Right.
I'm like, this is hilarious. Like all of the dirt. I mean, very Desperate Housewives feel to it. So that has always been my experience. But again, I have had a small experience. So I'm sorry. Send Eric all the hate mail about those Burbs comments.
Uh,
But overall, again, this was a third episode in a row where I'm like, yeah, we're cooking. I enjoyed it. It was fun. The mystery was good. The little 12-year-old, I thought he was great with the drone, and how they're like, oh yeah, no, this is what happened, and explaining his drone, him catching the other person in the
right.
act, and they're like, no, that wasn't him catching in the act. And so I thought it was a hit. What about you?
I agree with you. I thought this was a really good episode. And yeah, Kylie Evans, of course, I'm going to love it because I love her in both Good Witch and Mistletoe Murders. She doesn't have quite as big of a role in Mistletoe Murders, but one of the mysteries she was pretty major in that. So really liked her. She's also in the podcast, the Audible version of the Mistletoe Murders too. She carries over for both of those. Um, it cracked me up too when they show up and they're like, "Oh, we got the new client," and it turns out to be the 12-year-old kid. And Shade just looks at Andrew like, what are you doing?" And then they go for it and they go back to the kid's house for the juice box. And
Yes.
the dad's just like, "Okay, well, here you go, have fun." Like, I'm like, what the dad? What kind of dad's letting them hang out? Their kid hang out with two adults, kind of thing. Like, I don't know. I think I would have been, I'm a pretty lax parent. I still would have been like, son, no, you don't get to
Right.
whatever with
Entertain.
these two adults. Is something a little weird about that. But I thought
Oh.
this was from a mystery standpoint really good because they don't do it often, but they did a lot of red herrings in this one where they really set someone up and then nope, then they set someone else up, nope, they set someone else. Like they kept going through, like you said, the Burbs. It was each one sort of had their turn of being, including the victim, of being who was the actual bad, the bad guy at the end of it. So I found it, you know, pretty darn good because I thought it was who it was, but then I was like, oh, maybe not. And then, came back and was where it was. So kind of had that feeling, but I thought it was a really good episode. Really good episode.
Well, episode 16, Look Who's Stalking. Matt rushes when his ex, Becca Diorce, fears her stalker from years ago found the way back to her TV studio lodge. For whatever reason, this one's got like a ton more, but I'm going to stop with that. In this one, we have Schitt's Creek actor Karen Robinson, who plays Ronnie on Schitt's Creek. She is in this one. Did you recognize that?
I did not,
Oh man,
and I
Eric, you
watched
must know
all of
all of
them.
these people.
And
Jeez.
she's like one of the people who I'm like, oh, she should be in a Hallmark movie. How did
Yes,
I
yeah.
not?
She was in this one. Loved it. I love the premise of Becca being in trouble again and having Shade and Angie involved. I think that is like, I mean, throw in a few of those episodes every season for me because those dynamics work well together. Like I feel like all three of them, she plays it in a way that you're like, yeah, they're not getting back together. And there's like no threatening, like
Right.
girl on girl thing, which sometimes, again, when Hallmark does stuff, sometimes they have that, which annoys me. So I just feel like this is done so well. And then the mystery was good. And so at first I thought it was going to be Karen's character who was the bad person, but it wasn't actually her. It was her, manager that did. And so all of that to me checked out. It worked. Again, we were cruising until the next episode, but we were cruising.
Which I know why I didn't like it. We go back to scenery. But for me,
Oh,
yep, fun episode. I thought they had great chemistry throughout it. And like you said, it's really good because you can have, like you said, you can have the ex-wife in there without it being weird and awkward and fun. And like it was really like a cool twist when it was like her credit card and they figured out like, oh, who bought the flowers? She bought them herself. And then obviously it turned out her credit card was stolen and whatever to do it, but it was like a really good twist that was thrown in there. It just, in watching this, and we've had it, I don't know now, maybe 10 episodes, but having their assistant in there, Zoe, I think was a brilliant addition, which I don't know if she sticks around based on what you're saying, but
she
it,
does.
okay, it's just really good because it kind of gives like this little, I don't know if balance is the right way to put it, but they kind of need that extra character. I think, for the office and everything like that. And so I really like her. And, she gets into sleuthing and everything. The next episode's even better with her getting into the sleuthing. But it was really good. And then you're talking about Karen. You know who she is, though, right? She's from Morning Show Mysteries
Oh my gosh.
with the
I
shape,
never,
but her head shaved now, obviously. But
I have
there
never,
you go. Her
wow.
voice was the dead giveaway for me. I'm like, wait a minute. I know that's her. And
My
then I looked it
mind
up and
is
sure enough.
blown. Oh, well, that's fun. Yeah, that clicks because I loved her in Morning Show Mysteries. And
Yeah.
oh,
Because
yes,
she's like
okay.
what? She's like Billy's aunt or something like that, I
Yeah,
think, right?
that is so cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I love it. We need her
And
in
wait,
more movies.
and then I will say I was also shocked that she wasn't part of it, that it was just the guy who worked
Yeah.
for her, and that she was really, ignorant of the crime that's happening, and that fact she just jumped right up there and took responsibility was like, wow, I like that. So I'd vote for her.
Yeah. Well, the next one I kind of hinted, so we were going well, and then we hit this one.
And Andrea's wrong.
Brew the right thing. Angie convinces Shade to help her find out who sabotaged Two Brothers Brewery and end up discovering a murder was committed decades ago. Okay, we have Steve London in it, and it
I
still
know.
couldn't help me. And then Catherine Barrell from The Good Witch, she's in this episode. Did you know that?
Wait, Catherine Barrel's in Good Witch?
Yes.
Oh, she's in like a bunch of Hallmark movies. She was just in
Yes,
Shifting
she's in Good Witch,
Gears.
and she was in this movie or in this episode. Did you notice that?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I absolutely knew that, but I didn't know she was in. I don't remember her in Good Witch.
What?
Was she reoccurring in Good Witch?
Yes, she was in at the end.
Oh, okay.
Well, for me, the premise again, the craft beer, not a favorite topic of mine, so it didn't pull me in. Sometimes the older mysteries, like that you're solving from decades ago, again, those can be hit or miss if I enjoy them. Um, and so
Well, they
that
didn't
one's
know
tough.
that's what it really was. They were
I know,
doing the
but those are like
vandalizing, but
tough thing where you're like, your uncle's been lying to you and like for years and killed your father. I mean, like that's a tough thing to digest. And so for me, that's a hard cozy. It's a hard
eh,
cozy topic. So this one was kind of a miss. I was all in and then it kind of skidded to a halt with this one. And I was like, gosh, I hope this next one is good in episode 18. So what do you think?
I because I do like the pubs, and I thought it was really fun episode. It was like kind of I was wanting it to be more though a little focused. Like the pub seemed a little empty to me, right? Not a place you're going to really go to. The other one that they went to, the whatever the girls' bicycle, whatever their competitor who they thought like that was the place I want to go there and have a pint and some fish and chips or whatever and hang out over there. So I thought they could have made the other one. It just looked a little more like this is a brewery rather than like sort of a pub type place. But it had, like you say, the having turning out to be that old mystery with the dead guy in the wall just had some mystery 101 killer timing vibes to me with that was the one premise in there with the
Yeah.
extra one. And then yeah, we had Catherine Barrow and Steve London in it, and they were married too. So yeah, the two Hallmark people, not just both in it, but actually like a couple. So that was fun. I also though, for me, like this was why I liked it. It was not definitely my top three or whatever of this part. Because I also found a little bit just too much of a reach that the dad would just disappear and there would be no like looking for him, or it seemed like they were like, oh no, dad's terrible, he left, that's it. Like he theoretically did not die, and so they're just sort of, oh well,
Yeah.
dad's gone. Seems like you'd make an effort and do something to find your dad, but whatever. It was a good one. It was like a 6 out of 10 for me.
Well, episode 18, the wrap up of season 2, Shadow of a Doubt. Shade and Angie's partnership is tested when a mysterious client hires them to recover a faulty prototype for a potentially dangerous new energy source. But when their plans go awry and their client disappears, who will be left holding the bag? Well, Colin Ferguson is in this episode, so that's a treat. It's a two-part episode that leads into season 3. A great.
Laura Vandervoot too.
See, I missed that one.
She's the main one.
I was wondering. I was like, I feel like I should know who this is.
Yes.
See, there we go. I have thoughts on this one. Like I was kind of boring for a little bit of it. And so that's why I just kind of lost interest in looking up who she was. It ended great, but the lead up to me was like it was like a little too technical. Even as I read the description, I'm like, oh, it was an energy source. That's what they were going after in the first place. So some of it I was like kind of in and out of
Well,
that
they
episode.
weren't. They were going after her like naked pictures or
Yeah, that's what
whatever.
I thought. So then
And
what is the
then,
energy
but it turned
source?
out to be
Oh,
they
okay.
didn't know what they were going. That was the twist, that it was
Oh.
really,
Well, I loved the twist. That's what I wrote in this.
yeah.
Clearly, I had a different twist. Well, my twist is I'm assuming people have watched this, but like how they left Angie at the end. Like,
Yes.
and have you seen the next episode?
Yes.
Okay. So that's also where, I've watched, I think, the first 5 episodes of season 3. So I kind of know what happened and it gets resolved and whatnot. But I thought it was a clever way of doing things. And I would have hated this if you're watching it and you're like, oh, I have to wait another, like, what, 6 months before it airs again. And you're
Right,
left
right.
me with this twist. And then it kind of wrapped up pretty good. But I actually thought episode 1 of season 3 was better than this one, personally.
Okay.
So I actually liked the resolve of it more so than the buildup of it, if that makes sense.
Yep.
What about you?
I thought it was a fun episode, and it was even better because the bad guys were whatever Laura Vandervoot and Colin Ferguson, who are our Hallmark friends, right? And they both turn out to be evil. And they at the like I knew from 100 miles away that they were shady, right? And they were somehow in cahoots. So I knew
I
what
knew
was
they were potentially in cahoots. I didn't think that they were
because she was
that
like so
shady.
much
I didn't think
over.
they were that
Well,
shady though. I
no,
wasn't
no.
expecting that.
But then when they do reveal, like they're like badass.
Bad.
Yeah, like she turned, she's inhaler, like, oh no, in her little, what do you call those collars? Mary Jane, not Mary Jane, whatever, the little collar
Chokers?
that she wears, like looking all innocent. And then at the end, she's like smoking way, getting into their sports car. Like they do very good bad, right?
Yes.
And so I really thought the twist at the end was good. And then seeing, like, I fully expected that Angie was going to be like, "Oh, we know you're not a bad person," but then boom, no, you're off in jail. And I'm like, I have, like you were saying, there's no way I could wait to watch it. I
Yeah.
had to roll right into
Same.
that next episode because I'm like, well, what happens?
What? Yes, exactly.
Obviously they have to get her out, but
Yeah.
like it was such a great season ender. Like you said, you would have been counting down days until you could see the resolve
What
of what
happened?
happens and how
Yeah.
they get her out of it. So, and like I said, I think they just both made great bad guys. Like great casting, great casting.
Well, so for reflecting on these episodes, what was your favorite setting? For myself, episode
It was
12,
Brew the right thing for you.
Get Away with Murder, the cozy resort. Like that's that, there was a few I could have picked from, but I like the cozy resort. That's a great setting for myself.
I absolutely knew you would be picking that one too because Christopher Russell was in it too.
That's too.
And
I have no idea what you're going to pick.
I did go with Brew the Right Thing because, like
No,
I
you
said,
didn't.
I did.
Huh?
I like
That's
pubs and things like
so
that. Like I said, I
funny.
wish that would have been a little better, but I knew you would be doing the
Resort.
resort, so I was like, I
I
can
thought you
do that
maybe
one.
would pick that, but yeah.
And
Okay.
so I was like, okay, what else? And I thought, and once again, I'm going more to the girls' pub than the two brothers, because I thought that one was like really cool. Like had the little outside thing you could walk up to it and everything. So I thought it was cute. I would want to go, like I say, go get me my pint and have some, whatever big pretzels there or
Pretzel.
something.
Well, most intriguing mystery. Okay, so this one there was quite a few to pick from, but I think I'm going to go with episode 13, Affair to Remember, just because I loved the car scene. I love kind of the twist there and how they get themselves out of it. I could have easily picked that last episode as well, but I think I liked, again, the season 3, episode 1 better. And so I think the Affair to Remember would be my most intriguing. What about you?
I went with the Shadow of the Doubt because I really
The
liked,
one we
like I
just
said,
talked
yeah,
about,
yeah,
if
the
people
big
are
twist
episode
at the
18.
end.
Yeah.
Even though I knew it was coming, it was what I knew was coming times 10.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was like, whoa, I knew it was going to be bad and I
Not that
knew whatever is there, but I did not expect them to be bad. So I thought that was really, really, really good.
Okay, so favorite episode. I picked the Finding Leroy because who doesn't love an octopus? I don't know. When I was like reflecting, I'm like, what do I remember most? And it's the octopus. I mean, I enjoyed that little dinner, the family dinner that they were having where they got busted when they're like, oh, you have an octopus. And it turned out it wasn't the right octopus. But like, I don't know. I enjoyed that episode. It was cute.
Well, I was going to go with The Hills Have Eyes because
That's what I thought you would pick.
I thought it was really good with a lot of red herrings and it had like the burbs and you thought it was all of them. Then I had The Affair to remember because that cab scene was so cool and everything like that. But I ended up with Leroy too.
No, you did not.
I did
Did you really?
because I had to stay consistent because
That's
I had it for the
hilarious.
first half. Love, love
That's
wins out, and
hilarious.
it had an octopus and the romantic ending of it, which just made me, gave me the feels. So
Well, that's funny.
yes, I thought it was like I say, any of those ones I chose though,
Yeah.
I would have been totally happy when I thought they were on par, and I just went with the consistency of my first half pick and stayed with
That's
love.
so funny. Oh, well, next week we are going to be previewing the
Big time.
Christmas 2025. And we have our special guest, Jenny, as she has done, I don't know, is this going to be our third or fourth year?
I think
Jenny?
third. I
Third?
think
Yeah, like we've done this because we did a YouTube one before you even had
right.
the podcast going. And so um, that's always our favorite. We look at, what are we most looking forward to? And we have less movies to look forward to. So I've already picked mine. I was going through that this weekend while I had some time. And
Well, I thought I had 2 weeks because
yes,
somehow September has gone by too fast for
I know.
me,
I
so
told
I
him, I'm
have
like, we're
to
recording that
go
later this
pick.
week.
I
And
do I do know my top three, so
well, I have to order mine. I haven't done that because some of them.
well, I don't know the order of them. I just know the three I'm most intrigued about.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's what we're going to do next week. So we'll break that down and then we will have a couple of the Halloween movies, Hollow Out the Halloween, and then the Haunted Harmony. We'll review that. And then we will do our recap of the whole year. Well, not like a whole year, but we're going to share our like 5 favorite and maybe 3 least favorite movies from 2025.
Everything pre-Christmas.
And then we'll start into Christmas, which I can't remember. Did we just randomly pick a movie and then just review that? Is that what we did last year? Do you
I
remember?
think we were no, I think we were doing
We
Spencer
didn't review.
Sisters, didn't we?
We didn't review every Christmas movie though, did we?
Oh no, no.
Didn't we
No,
just pick one for
I
the
thought we did
weekend?
like another
No,
series.
I think we did I think we randomly just picked a movie.
Oh.
And so we'll table back.
Very easy
Yeah,
to look and see. We do
that
not
it
have
is.
a schedule for what we will be doing once Christmas starts.
Yeah,
Well, we do have Mistletoe Murders, but we've already
that
reviewed
is
Mistletoe Murders.
well, the new one. So
Oh, that's what we were reviewing during Christmas. Were Mistletoe Murders.
I'm pretty sure we also threw in a random Christmas movie,
Okay.
but we'll get back to you on that. That's what I was thinking would be fun is
Okay.
you vote on one weekend and then I'll do the next weekend and we kind of take turns making because I
Okay.
think there's a new movie every Saturday and Sunday and so we'll
Right.
just every other week we'll just
Yeah.
you pick and I pick.
Friday's the series, and Saturday, Sunday are the
That'd
new
be kind of
movies.
fun. So we'll do something fun. All right.
Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.
This podcast was created by fans for fans and is not affiliated with or sponsored by Hallmark or the Hallmark Channel.